We don't go down to New Orleans, they're gonna love us, so baby, please don't go. I think I said I was interested in anything about rebellion, chaos, disorder, and activity that appears to have no meaning. The gap is getting wider day by day. The old are getting older and the young are getting somewhere.
Jim Morrison, Ray Manzarek, Robbie Krieger, and Johnny Densmore. Fellas, great to have you on the show today. Tell me more about the song, Light My Fire. Did it come right from the album?
Right, there's a long version of the album, 7 minutes, and it's getting a lot of play on the coast. And for the rest of the country, there's a cut-down version.
And Ray, how did you happen to pull this one out of the album?
There was a lot of action on it on the West Coast. The people all seemed to like it, and we thought it would probably be the best one to go with.
Are you fellas all from the coast?
Mm-hmm.
You're all
from L.A., yeah, the Venice area, Los Angeles, down on the beach. It's a small beach town out there.
We come to New York a lot, though, every couple months.
Listen, how would you compare the so-called West Coast sound with what we have here in the East? Do you feel your sound is more or less a West Coast sound, or just universal?
I'd say as far as the groups are concerned, there seems to be a lot more action on the West Coast than here in New York. I haven't heard really too many new groups here that are exciting at all. I kind of like the Blues Project, but that's about all. But San Francisco and LA are really filled with a lot of good groups.
And do you think the flower type songs are going to be the thing for a while, or psychedelic, or what have you? Or is it all just a combination of things out there that make up the West Coast sound?
Yeah, everything's going on out there. It's really hard to put any kind of one label on it. You can't really call it flower music or psychedelic. It's a whole new thing that's starting on the coast. It's a new American thing.
The West is the best.
The West is the best. I like that.
I think music and poetry are a free activity, almost like child's play. It's a real drama. You get a triangle situation. The audience and the voice and the stage. And when you don't have that, when you just have a dialogue, it's just like a conversation between two people. I'm gonna get that noise here. Would somebody get that and see who's down there? This is Jim Morrison of The Doors, suggesting you can light your own fires and open your minds by turning on to a new magazine called Cheetah. If you can't cop a copy from a friend who has one, it's now in your neighborhood newsstand, with the kind of stories and pictures that really say something. There's Mama Cass on a field of daisies advertising flower power. There's a profile of Bryant Wilson, the genius head of the Beach Boys. There's a report on the Boston scene from someone who's obviously been there, and more. It's a magazine with soul. Cheetah. For all you who are willing to let words and ideas ignite your imagination.
I don't know how this whole Tijuana thing got started. But if you've ever been to TJ, or anywhere in Mexico, you've seen those packs of wild dogs. And those bands of beggars diving for coins in the muddy river, and the sun-scarred walls, and the ochre-covered streets.
A central theme or a motif, a thread running through the songs we don't have, but we definitely do have generate an atmosphere or a mood which might be characterized as an awareness of the strange, that something's wrong, something's not quite right. I think I said I was interested in anything about rebellion, chaos, disorder, and activity that appears to have no meaning. The gap is getting wider day by day. How long do we want to go and play?
We can invent kingdoms of our own, grand purple thrones, those chairs of lust and love we must, in beds of rust. Steel doors lock in prisoner screams, and Muzak AM rocks their dreams. No black men's pride to hoist the beams, while mocking angels sift what seems to be a collage of magazine dust, scratched on foreheads of walls of trust. This is just jail for those who must get up in the morning and fight for such unusable standards, while weeping maidens show off penury and pout ravings for a mad staff.
When I was in high school and college, the kind of protest that's going on now was totally unheard of. That time, to be a teenager, to be young, was really nothing. It was kind of a limbo state. And I think it's amazing just in the last 5 years what's happened is young people have become increasingly aware of the power and the influence that they have as a group. The repression of sexual energy has always been the grandest tool of a totalitarian system. If everyone was free in their sexual activity, how many people would show up for work? That's the basic problem. Whether progress, the progress of civilization, the evolution of a civilized culture is really worth it. And there have been some amazing accomplishments, beautiful accomplishments, but the question is it worth it? Is it worth the repression? And that's something everyone has to answer every second of their life.
If they have a good library, that's about it. It's or unless you want to be an engineer, a scientist, something like that, I think you could learn a lot. They have all the equipment and professors and all that, but I think the main key to education is just reading, basically. You could do the same thing in your own.
We don't go down and we won't lose. They're gonna love you, so baby, please don't go.